Starting a new project here, so follow along as we set up the model file so that we can then model the structure of the house. So here we're looking at a nice contemporary design, 14,000 square feet, including garage, and all concrete and steel construction, no wood in it at owner's request. And so here we're looking at the basement plan, followed by the first floor plan, second floor plan, and finally the roof here. So let's go over into the model file and see how that sets up. So here we have the basement plan in the model. The architect was nice enough to give us the DWG files, so we're able to import those directly without any translation from PDF. And it's a very exact, because these are all one-to-one. A foot in the plan is a foot in real life. So once we get all this put together, again, the whole idea is that everything can be dimensioned. So we're looking at the basement plan. Let's turn on the first floor right there. And let's turn over on the second floor. And lastly, the roof. And you can see we're stacking everything up right around this elevator here. And to give us points to measure from, which will be useful during construction, we put in reference planes along the X and Y axis, which they're very lightly colored here, but let's move this into 3 dimensions. And you can see how those floors stack, and those reference planes are right there in the center of the elevator going all the way down. So everything's lined up. Obviously, the elevator has to align vertically, floor to floor. You can see these datum lines in here, 4250 being the elevation of the basement, 55 the first floor, 6655 for most of the second floor. There is a higher bonus room area, and 7816 is top of roof sheeting. And again, there are other roof areas that are a little bit higher than that. But let's go back here and change the style here so everything's not ghosted out, a little easier to see. So when we come in here, yeah, you can see how everything just lines up. Now, one of the things to note when we create these plans and bring them into the model, we lock them in place in the X and Y so they can't be inadvertently moved. You can see this one is actually off of our 66.5, but that's because there is, right here, you can see there's an upper floor here, this bonus room, and so we have it set up on that bonus. But now if we want to be laying things out on the main area of the second floor right here, we can move things vertically in the Z direction, but we're not, because we lock them in, we can't mess things up and move them in X and Y. And then let's get in here for clarity. Let's turn off these reference planes. So then where it helps, we also come in here and put in the section plane. Sometimes that helps us to get elevations right on things. So we'll put in some of the section planes as we go along. So right now, let's jump back and take a look at the structural steel, which is what we're working on right now. And here's that structural steel page right here for the roof. There is a lot going on in this. You can see a lot of steel beams. We mark them off as we put them in. A lot of details. The notes that you see here, the little dots, SE stands for structural engineer. Anywhere that we see a detail that doesn't seem to describe the condition, or we have a question on it that's not particularly clear, we make note of that so that we can come back and review that later with the structural engineer and the architect. So back over here in the model file, we can turn on, we have been working on the steel, and you can see how that's coming together in here. A lot of steel. We're not done with it yet. Next step down would be the floor below. Once we get that in, chances are we're going to have to come back and just adjust the locations of these ever so slightly, because we've got to carry those loads from the roof all the way down into the foundation. So anyway, that's where we're at so far. We will come back and show you more as more is completed.